And hello class, we are in Module 1. This is going to be the Module 1 video, and this is going to be pertaining to what we are going to be covering throughout the week along with expectations. We are going to discuss that as well. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to break down exactly precisely throughout the course of every week, and this will apply for every module moving forward, even after Module 1, going into the following weeks, of when assignments are due. I think that's the main question that all of the students have. So your main assignments, for example here, if we go into Module 1, and if we look at the written assignment, that's one of the main assignments. So every week, what you're going to have an assignment that's due out of Connect, and I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes on the importance and significance of signing up for Connect. You're going to definitely need that for the first 7 weeks. Well, for the 7 weeks of the course, this happens to be an 8-week course. But we're going to have an assignment every week from week 1 through 7 that we're going to be covering that's based out of Connect. So this is a Connect assignment right here, for example. And this is your written assignment right here. As you notice, the due dates. Your main assignments are going to be due on Sunday nights. So these two assignments right here will be due on Sunday night. And that's going to apply for every week, where your main assignments are going to be due on Sunday nights. As far as discussion questions, we are going to have a discussion thread that we're going to be engaging in, where we're going to be discussing topics. That's going to be due on Friday nights. So right here, for example, your post to the marginal analysis is going to be due on Friday night, and what you will do within your peers in the class, you will reply to at least one other post. That's going to be due on Friday night. As far as test, and I don't want to clutter everything up, and I want everyone to get an understanding of when everything's going to be due. Your test are going to be due as well on Sunday nights, along with submitting your assignments. So for example, there's a Module 1 post test, and that's going to be due on Sunday night as well. Now, the one thing about Module 1 here, there's a little bit more to engage in, when it comes to completion and different tasks, and that's due with this being the first initial week of the course. So the one thing you want to do is you want to definitely look at your review. So go through your review, look through this category, complete these tasks, and then the next step is you want to go through your pre-assessments. So go through your pre-assessments, and I do have due dates actually clicked in already in terms of when everything is due. Now, when it comes to watching fundamental videos, when it comes down to learning, for example, the Module 1 SmartBook activity, the learning and the pre-attempts for the pre-quizzes, those things, they don't necessarily have to be due on the date specified. For example, the Module 1 pre-quiz, I have that selected to be due by Wednesday. The Module 1 SmartBook activity, I have that set to be engaged in and due by Saturday. I will be lenient, okay, when it comes to the learn, the watch, and the try assessments, okay? What I want everybody to really primarily focus on, you are to complete everything. I want to make that clear, but sticking to the due dates of when the tests are due, along with your discussion post responses, as well as the main assignments, the one assignment that will be due out of Canvas on Sunday nights, and also the main assignment that will be due out of Connect. All right, so keep that in mind, and I will be making random announcements every week, and I will be following up with a few announcements as we further progress into this week being Module 1. Another thing I want to discuss here as we move along is I want to talk about Zoom meetings. They are not mandatory for you to engage in. However, though, I will be available on Zoom on Thursdays and Fridays from 4 to 5 p.m. Once again, I will mention I will be available every week throughout the semester throughout the 8 weeks that we're together, I will be available on Thursdays and Fridays from 4 to 5 p.m. And I will also post an announcement in Canvas right here. You will see that, and you will get notification of it, of the Zoom meetings when I will be available. So, utilize this time, and I encourage everyone to log into the Zoom meetings when I'm available if you happen to have any questions or concerns pertaining to the course, or if you want to just discuss things with me pertaining to anything definitive to microeconomics. All right, so that covers the Zoom part of it, and what you would do here, this is made available for you. You will click on the Zoom link right here, and that will bring you directly to me within the meeting room, again, Thursdays and Fridays from 4 to 5 p.m. Okay, so we have covered what's due for the most part when it comes to fundamentals, when it comes to the review, and also when it comes down to the pre-assessments. And I'm hoping that everybody already started. One thing I want to bring to your attention is there is an old link, and I just discovered this. Okay, when getting started with Connect, I want everyone to click on this right here, this link, because the date has been updated. Disregard the link that's in the Module 1 pre-assessment. This happens to be a duplicate. Do not click on this link right here. Click on the link right here when it comes to getting started with McGraw-Hill Connect, and you will find that. Okay, I just clicked on that. Let me get out of that. But that's the link that you definitely want to click on to get started. So disregard the link in the pre-assessment when it comes to McGraw-Hill. That is something that I want the class to disregard, because it's potentially an old link. And what I will do is I will gradually go back in here to my settings, and I will have that deleted as it happens to be a duplicate. So we have covered, okay, pretty much due dates, okay, of when everything is due. I kind of showed everybody, okay, what to navigate through when it comes to the pre-assessment, as well as the fundamentals and the review pertaining to Module 1. So now what I want to do is I want to talk about some terms and definitions related to this module. So this module is called the Fundamentals of Microeconomics. And so for the most part, when we think about micro, we think about industries and sectors. So how does the economy impact the individual? We're not focusing on macro within this course, where macro happens to do like a global analysis or global study or comparison of two nations' economies, and then we get into different narratives of monetary policy, things pertaining to that. That is not what we're studying here within this course. We are studying, okay, how individuals within their decision-making of utilizing products and services, how do they weigh the checks and balances when it comes, okay, to the marginal benefits, the marginal cost, as well as budgeting themselves out, and then also looking at the advantages, okay, of their decision-making, okay, when it comes to when it comes to the actual definition of what micro is, and when we begin to analyze that. So some definitions I want to throw out to the class, okay, and this is pertaining to fundamentals, and this will help you throughout the course of the week. Number 1, comparative advantage. All right, that's the ability to produce a good or service at a lower relative opportunity cost than that of another producer. So think about comparative advantage. Think about the initial investment. Think about the decision that business owners happen to make. Okay, so when it comes to whether they're soliciting goods, whether they're soliciting services, all right, what is going to be the cheapest when it comes to the investment, and also when it comes to controlling overhead cost? So what is going to be the comparative advantage, for example, if I select a vendor, okay, that's offering the services that I'm going to sell, okay, to my consumers at, let's say, for example, a cheaper quantity amount, where when I begin to purchase in quantity and volume, Okay, is it going to cost less to select this vendor over a vendor that will potentially charge me more when it comes to quantity and when it comes to shipments and keeping these services in inventory? So I just pretty much kind of broke down what comparative advantage is. You want to balance out your comparative advantage in order, okay, to greater probably benefit your profit when you begin to sell your goods or services. So moving along here, okay, let's talk about the microeconomics, and we want to talk about the marginal decision making. We want to talk about the opportunity cost, and we want to talk about optimizing all of those costs. So when it comes to marginal decision making, okay, we're talking about making choices in increments by evaluating the additional or the marginal benefit against the additional or marginal cost of an action. So for example, budgeting. Budgeting is related directly when it comes to marginal decision making. So would it be cheaper, for example, okay, when it comes to the decision making process, all right, is to utilize a service compared to another service? If we want to budget ourselves, okay, and if we want to minimize our cost and overhead, this is where marginal decision making takes effect. So, for example, the textbook has a very good example, and I need to use this. I'm kind of further elaborating on some of these terms, but this is something to think about when you turn off the bedroom lights to the kitchen so that you can save a little money on your electric bill. That is an example of marginal decision making. Entrepreneurs also engage into that decision making process, okay? For example, you may want to use less electricity, okay, running the store, all right? So at certain hours, okay, all right, you may utilize, okay, the less output of electricity. What's the marginal benefit? That's something to think about. Okay, so just a few minutes here. All right, opportunity cost, okay, that's based on your initial investment, and when you look to engage in opportunity cost, okay, what will be, okay, the outcome? Okay, what will be the greater benefit, okay, of making even a greater profit based on the opportunity cost and initial investment that you happen to engage in? And then also optimization. Okay, so optimization is the idea that people make choices in order to maximize the overall benefit or utility of an action, subject to its cost. So people will engage in an activity as long as the marginal benefits of an activity is greater or equal to its marginal cost. So that's what optimization is, okay? Optimizing, okay, making the decision, okay, to maximize the greater benefit, okay, without it costing further or additional. That is the definition of optimizing something, okay? When it becomes greater than, okay, and it becomes, for example, more of a cost and more of a benefit, that means that you're past optimization. And then also scarcity, okay? We can think about COVID-19, all right, and the scarcity of products, the scarcity of services, okay? That it happens to be a condition. Now, we are in a post-pandemic phase. We're no longer in a pandemic, all right? But the inability of limited resources to satisfy unlimited wants, that's the definition of what scarcity is, okay? So, I'm going to wrap it up right there. All right. My objective when it comes to lecture is to keep it within 15 minutes. I can always further elaborate, okay, in the Zoom sessions that will be made available on Thursdays and Fridays from 4 to 5 p.m. And what I will do, class, I will make an announcement and post it here in Canvas regarding those Zoom meeting sessions. Okay, everyone, welcome to the world of microeconomics. I am Professor Javier Black. And I wish everybody the best of luck, the best of wishes. Feel free to reach out to me. Okay, you can email me through the Canvas system. You can email me through the college email. If you have any questions,